What's up, you guys? Welcome back to my channel. My name is Nick and I talk all about trading and investing here on my channel, and I try and keep it real. And you guys already know today is going to be a very realistic topic. If you saw the title, then you know what we're getting into. Today we are going to talk about ways to validate whether or not someone is actually a legitimate trader online. And this is something that I think is very, very important to talk about, because I was once in the shoes of somebody watching YouTube, watching people talk about their trading. I now run a channel and business around trading. So I'm gonna spill the beans on how you can actually validate whether or not somebody is a legitimate trader or they are just hyping things up. And this is gonna be, we're not naming any names here. That's not what this is about. This is about for you guys as consumers, as viewers on YouTube. How can you tell if someone is real or someone is not real? Again, no names. We're just gonna talk the concepts. We're gonna get right into it. Let's do this. On my channel, I have done my best to try and stay transparent. I don't share absolute every detail about my personal financial life, but I do try and keep things as real and no hype as possible when it comes to Forex trading. Now, we've talked about this a bunch on the channel. We already know that, the Lambo lifestyle, the traveling and the mansions and all that, it is mostly a marketing ploy to try and get you to buy stuff. Now, I'm saying this cautiously because I do honestly run a business and sell products to people who are interested in financial markets. We have a team of people who cover market events. We have article writers. We sell an online community service. So there is a side of me that does sell things. But I'm trying to be as honest and transparent about this because I know that if I was trying to be, just an absolute salesperson, what I could do is I could do the whole route where, I drive fancy cars and I show off and, that sort of thing. But that's just not who I am, and I don't really think that will be me ever. So I try and just share the honesty or the honest part of trading and investing, which it is a slow and steady, long grind to the top. This is something that I have done for the last 5 years of my life. I've invested countless hours learning and working in the markets and building up capital from my various sources of income, and doing this with my own money has taught me a lot. There's been some ups, there's been some downs, and I've shared a lot of the journey here on YouTube. So how can you tell if someone, myself included, how can you tell if somebody you see online is actually a legitimate trader or not? Now, there are some obvious signals and there are some not so obvious signals. Now, the first very, very obvious thing is, do they share a track record? Because if somebody has the results, they should be able to share it. It's really that simple. So what I mean by this is, if you're actually trading in the financial markets and you are doing it like you say you do it online, right? There's people who out there making ginormous claims, making $5 grand, $6 grand a day or whatever, but they won't show any sort of verified third-party track record. They might show their MT4, but you don't know if it's a real account. And if you do know it's a real account, you might not actually know if those profits outweigh their losses over the long term. Right? Anybody can show profits, but are you profitable long term? Short term and medium term success in the markets does not matter. What matters is long term results. Okay? So if somebody has a third party track record, there is a couple great sites for that. In terms of the Forex world, the best ones that I know are myfxbook.com and FX Blue, I believe is what it's called. And they track performance from it's a third-party company that their whole purpose is to track people's brokerage movements in their account and show the public, hey, this person, here's their performance over X amount of months, days, weeks, whatever. So that is huge and very, very important for anybody. If they don't have that, then they don't have that result. Let's think about this very, very straight up. If you were a zillionaire trader who could double and triple accounts all the time, like a lot of these guys talk about, can you show a third-party verified track record? And that is not calling out anybody. It's just straight up. If you have it, show it. And I've tried to do the best I can with showing this. I do not try and claim that I'm here doubling and tripling accounts. I use foreign exchange and the stock market as kind of a way of kind of like an advanced savings account. And what I mean by that is I stick money in there from my various sources of income, from different things that I'm doing, and I deposit it into Forex and I deposit it into my stock account, and I try and grow that money over time. Now, at this point in my career, I've built up a pretty decent sized amount of capital so that those gains are actually large enough that they could completely support my lifestyle, but I also love creating content and running a business. So it's kind of a mingle of all my different passions, trading, investing, and business. So the thing here is, again, if somebody has the results that they are saying, they should be able to show it. And in my channel, again, I try and keep it as real as possible, and I talk about slow and steady gains. To me, that means going for something like 2 to 5% gains per month on larger capital. Now, if I had a small capital basis, I might try and go for more aggressive gains. But for me, at my stage in my career, anything from 1 to 5% per month, I consider really, really good because I'm working with a larger amount of capital. That is big number one. That's the absolute, if they don't have it, they don't have it. That's my opinion. So what are some other things? We can also talk about the whole hype concept. Now, the hype concept is a little bit touchier, I guess. And it doesn't necessarily mean somebody is or is not a successful trader. Because if you have a Lamborghini and you show it in your videos, you very well might actually be a great trader, and you very well also might just be a not great trader at all, and just doing something else to make that money and trying to make it look like you're trading, right? So that is not necessarily an indication of, but I will say this. If it feels like those people are trying to market to you, they are trying to sell to you and appeal to your materialistic desires to try and sell you something, that might be where it's like, okay, this is kind of a red flag. Why is this person flexing on me and trying to teach me Forex on the internet at the same time? That might feel a little bit counterproductive. Now, I understand though that some people are motivated by that, and I'm not trying to hate on people who do that sort of thing where they show, hey, I've kind of made some progress in my financial lifestyle. I think that's great. I personally am not a huge fan of showing all of that on the internet, and I don't do it myself. But I think that that's not necessarily an indication of they're a great trader or they're not a great trader, because great traders can absolutely afford nice things if they've built capital up and they've done it the right way. So I'm not disputing that. But again, if it feels too good to be true, if it feels like they're trying to market to you and they're selling some incredibly expensive course or something like that, that might be a red flag. Now, again, based on our first two things that we've looked at, the track record is going to be the most important thing. Understanding that they show some sort of proof of what they are doing is going to be huge. Now, there are also other ways to I guess, prove that you are making money. I guess you could look at broker statements as another way to do it. But again, I find the easiest way, if you don't want to share exactly how much money is in your account, because after all, this is the internet, right? We don't want to show, at least I don't want to show exactly what I'm worth and all that sort of thing. I find that, not super productive either. I don't find that super productive either, but I do think that it is very important to show some sort of proof. And that's why a third-party tracking site allows you to do it the best in my view, because you don't have to show the exact dollar amount that you are trading with. You just have to show that long-term you are actually able to do what you're saying you're doing. And that is so key for everybody that you watch online. I think that should be like the golden standard for trusting somebody's ability to actually trade the markets. All right, and the next thing that is going to be a great indication of whether or not somebody can really trade or not is purely just by watching them on the channel that they are offering. Now, when you watch my videos, I would encourage you to challenge the things that I say and to go check them for yourself and to go test concepts. Because I, like everybody else, am on my own trading journey. I'm learning and improving as a trader and investor all the time. And so there are things that I've put it on my channel that, I've come back to and say, hey, this is not the best concept. And sometimes I'll private that video or hide it or whatever, just because I feel like, okay, when I was in that point in my career, this may not have been the best concept to think about. So I've definitely made some adjustments and improvements in my own trading along the process of sharing these videos on YouTube. From the start, this has all been about me sharing my own journey. It's I used it as a journal from day one, my channel. So, that is what it is. It's not going to be perfect all the time. However, when you're watching somebody on the internet who is trying to come across as some sort of expert all the time, I would highly encourage you to look into the things that they are saying and understand the concepts. Sometimes it's very, very obvious that somebody you are watching does not know what they are doing. And that can be obviously a very, very red flag, a very, very big red flag for people who are trying to learn this stuff or improve in this stuff, is when the person that's talking about it really doesn't seem to know what they're doing at all. That can be a huge red flag. And me, when I was going through my trading career, watching people on YouTube, I found that to be the case. Only after I kind of got past that beginner stage, I started noticing, hey, those are beginner mistakes that I was definitely making when I was a beginner. So why are they making it if they've been making videos for, 2 years or whatever? So keep that in mind and challenge and be skeptical of everyone on the internet, because you never know exactly what their intentions are. And again, I encourage anybody that you watch or follow, really do your homework on them and validate whether or not they are legitimate enough to actually be talking about this stuff. Because at the end of the day, I think that no matter who you watch or whatever you watch, it's going to be on you to actually become a successful trader, entrepreneur, investor, whatever you're trying to do. It's going to be up to you when watching videos online. No, somebody else can't give you the golden answer to success. Obviously, that's just not going to happen. However, people who you are watching and trying to get ideas from, you want to make sure that they themselves are actually finding success before blindly just taking what they're saying and copying it. So again, these are some concepts that I personally look for when I look for other people out there. There are a lot of traders and people that I know on the internet who are fabulous traders that I know have performance. They've either shared a track record, or you can just tell from the way they discuss things, or they've shared trades publicly, something like that that just shows transparency. And I think that you should not, this is just my opinion, I think that a person would be best off not to listen to people who hype things up with no track record. If you hype things up and you have a track record, okay, I'm down for that. But no track record for me means, I'm probably not gonna watch that content, because it's probably, there's no telling whether or not it's gonna really benefit me or not. If somebody is not successful and they're trying to teach you how to be successful, you're not gonna become successful, because they're gonna teach you things that have not made them successful. So a little tongue twister, but that's the idea. I hope you got something out of this video. Again, this is a video that's been something that's been pressing on me to do. It feels like it's necessary to talk about. Again, I'm not about naming names on this channel. I don't do drama. I don't do all that nonsense. I just, stick to my trading, investing in my business. But I want to try and help somebody out there who is questioning, who should I be listening to? And the best answer you should do, listen to yourself. Don't listen to me. Don't listen to other YouTubers. Listen to yourself and say, hey, does this person seem genuine? If so, maybe I'll get some ideas from them, and then I'm going to go test them out. I'm not going to listen blindly to other people. I'm going to listen to the ideas being shared, and then I'm going to go practice and employ what I see best. That's my opinion, guys. Let me know what you think down below in the comments. Like the video if you did enjoy this video, and we'll see you back in the next one.